But if some of the things I'm going to say to you this evening kind of don't sit well with you, then that's actually an indicator that you need to be doing a bit more research and exploring yourself. So, anyway, so my name is Tony Viola. I'm the founder of Urban Voice, and I've been doing a journey for a very long time. It's actually about 30 years. I know, I don't look like it's been like that, I know. But I want to share it with you because even then, I was sick and tired, but obviously having trouble. I'm even more sick and tired of hearing people say that young people can't achieve, and young people can't do this, and young people can't do that. And you know what? I'm the kind of person that I don't really like to talk a lot. I mean, I make it look like I like to talk a lot, but I'm more of an action. If you feel really serious about something, then do something. Don't talk, do it, prove it, and demonstrate it. So I'm going to show you, take you on a little journey, and I want you to be open-minded in the sense that put up your hand if you want to be successful. Okay, most of us, yeah? And that's the truth. Most of us want to be successful, but how many of us understand the path that will take us on a journey of our personal success? And I was introduced to these kind of concepts very many years ago by someone who became my mentor, and I think, so let's just go on this journey. So this is my mentor. I met him about 30 years ago when my life definitely was heading down a wrong road. His name's Brother Ishmael. He doesn't live in this country, but I think I know that God loves me, because where I was at that time, for me to meet this guy and him having such an impact was just amazing. Does anyone recognize this gentleman on this side? Wow, was that me? Okay. Anyone heard of The Secret? Yes? Okay. So that's Michael Beckwith from The Secret with my mentor. A couple of years ago we got together in Ghana, and it's only then that I found out that he was also mentoring, and engaging with Michael Beckwith in America. So anyway, the point and the reason why I'm sharing this is because, so I'm going to show you some slides in terms of the journey that he took me on. And one of the things he said to me when I first met him was about my mindset. See, I had no money, everything was just going wrong for me. I mean, I was just not in a good place, not a good place at all. And I met with him, and some of the things he started saying to me initially, it just didn't make any sense at all. But I'm a person, I need to check things out for myself, and then I can validate. Does anyone relate to that? Okay, so we began a journey, and this is what the journey looked like. So within a few months, the kind of impact that he had on my life, I was like, wow, how comes people don't know about this? Like, it was just transformational in terms of my view and looking at things in a very different way. And so I set about the idea of how can I make a difference? So there's three things that I'm passionate about: music, young people, and wanting to make a difference. How many people like music? Okay, well then that's just my cue, because I can't have a mic and not do a little something. So, wake up everybody, wake up everybody, come on and wake up everybody. Help me out, Barry. Wake up everybody, put your hands together. Wake up everybody, wake up everybody, come on and wake up everybody. Hey, so wake up everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking, time for looking ahead. The world's changed so very much from what it used to be. There is so much hatred, war and poverty. Hey, wake up all the teachers, time to teach a new way. And maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. Cause they're the ones who's coming up, and the world is getting big kings when you teach teach the children, teach them the very best you can. Come on, the world won't get no better if we just let it be. No, no, no. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it, yeah, you and me. Thank you very much. So that's me. I'm passionate about music, and my mentor challenged me to say, if everyone wanted and had that mindset of making their life contribute to the community, the world would be a different place. Do you know the thing? So, as I said, he called me, and the thing is, I recognized where he took me from in terms of showing me a different view, and I just got inspired. So for about 10 years, I was rolling with him, trying to understand these concepts. You know, so I thought that was my phone. That's a good cue, actually. We can turn our phones off, and I'm sure it probably was mine. But it's a new phone, I don't even know how to turn it off, so I'm just going to put it over there. So I was rolling with him for about 10 years. I mean, he's become, I'll say it, not ashamedly. You know, he turned out to be my spiritual mentor in terms of just making me look at things from a very different perspective. And it's just been a wonderful journey. So after 10 years, I was like, okay, I kind of get this, but I don't get it. So the only way I'm really going to work this out is if I just step out and make something happen. And I'm passionate about young people, and I'm hearing everybody talking about the problems. Let's just do something. And so that's when I started out working in a community. And so these are some of the people over the 20 years. So Urban Voice, as a not-for-profit organization, has been running for 10 years. 10 years. I think that deserves a round of applause. And I can tell you some stories, but I want to spare you. I'm just going to put it in a book, because my man over here has been a friend of mine for 30 years, and he's seen the journey. Actually, no, we won't say how long it is, because then I know some of you mathematicians will be trying to work out my age and stuff like that, and it's not happening. But yeah, we've travelled for a long time, and so 20 years ago is really when I started to do the work in the community. And it got to a point where, and here's the interesting thing, so we said that we all want to be successful. How many people think that being successful is really about making lots of money? Okay, cool. Well, how about the fact that, and some of my students here will vouch for this, I can prove within an hour, and we don't have it now, it's not going to happen, that if you make financial goals and career goals without establishing other important goals in other areas of your life, guaranteed, I'll put my house on it, within a few years, you will be bankrupt. Bankrupt financially, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. One of them. Am I making sense? Yeah? So actually, making a target and a goal to achieve and make lots of money is actually the worst thing you could ever do for yourself. Now, is that in keeping with traditional thinking? It's not, is it? We're told to go out there and make tons of money. So anyway, I'll just leave that little nugget there for you. So, when I started, this was my experiment. At the time, this is a bit of a cycle, because 20 years ago, just over 20 years ago, I found myself in a position where I had lost everything. Everything. My home, my possessions, access to my children, the whole works. All I had was 2 bags, 2 carry bags. Now, I'm saying that because I don't want you to be crying for me, because I'm alright now. Yeah? But, at the time, it hurt like hell, right? But then I realized, and I thought about some of the things that my mentor had taught me, and I realized, and I certainly realize it now, that it was the best thing that ever happened to me. The best. Because what greater way for me to do the experiment than to be in that position? So here I am, I've lost everything, the only thing I had was this vision. and this intent that how can I still pick up myself and do something that's going to benefit others. And I found something out. And since then I've read a lot of books and found that this is a universal principle, that when you charge yourself with wanting to do something that is going to have benefit for others other than just yourself, amazing things happen. So, let me just prove it to you. So, with no money, nothing, apart from the vision of Urban Voice, as a singer, songwriter, wanting to help young people, I thought, let me just start. And so this is the result of some of the years' journey. So, Tiny Templar, obviously. And these are previous students that have either come through our training program or worked with us before they were successful, mind you. Before they were successful. So, just before we set up Urban Voice as a not-for-profit organisation, I'd been working for 10 years working with young people, passionate, raising money, getting money, spending it, not really knowing what I was doing, to be honest, but just passionate, and got to a point where, again, 10 years later, didn't have any money. It's like, but then one of the people I was speaking with said, look, you're not going to make any money from this, Tiny. Why don't you just set up as a not-for-profit organisation? So I said, okay, cool, because I've got nothing to lose. And so within 3 months of setting up, we got a cheque for £75,000 from the Arts Council. I was like, how cool is that? So it gave us the opportunity to continue doing what we're doing. And so I was like, well, clearly somebody wants me to keep doing this, so let's go. And so on that journey, we then began. And people like Tiny Temper, Mime and Mega from Soul Solid, Alexandra Burke, Starla G, Baby Blue, any of these names familiar to any? Y'all too old. Miss Dynamite and JLS. So how does that work? I mean, logically, you know, I've actually sat and thought to myself, pound for pound, if you look at the financial resources and the muscle that X Factor has in comparison to our small, tiny organisation, isn't it pretty amazing? Yeah. And there are countless others, countless. So it's like, okay, there is definitely something here in terms of investing and supporting young people. And really, the reason why we're here today is, at the beginning of the year, I found myself, you know what, I haven't rehearsed this, and I'm realising as I'm speaking to you, there is actually a definite cycle going on here, because almost 10 years that we've been running as an organisation, I found that our directors, well, let's just say I found myself in a place where it was like, okay, why continue? Because you've served the purpose, you've done a lot of good stuff in the community. Why don't you just, you know, go and do something else now? You know, my children had said to me, Dad, you know, you've done your bit. It's like, you don't have to be in the UK, just leave and just go. You can go anywhere in the world, you know, you're comfortable financially now, just go and do your thing. But again, I found myself in that place where it's like, okay, I could do that, but no. I found myself realizing that I couldn't think of anywhere else where I wanted to go, and I couldn't think of anything else that I wanted to do, i.e. I'm passionate about young people. And so the truth is, what you're going to find out through this evening is that when you can connect to your passion and identify what your passion is, you can actually take your passion and turn it into profits. However, who teaches us how to connect with ourselves, to identify our passions, to be able to recognize what we truly recognize as success for us, you as an individual? Because guess what? The truth is, what success means to you is different to me, right? Talk to me, please. Yes. Right? So we have to understand what success is for us as an individual. Who teaches you that? Well, the truth of the matter is, okay, if you are going to rely on you, the person, then let me just share two things with you, and then I'll pause. Does anyone know the concept of preconditioned thinking? Okay, you're thinking, what is he talking about? All right, let me explain. So, preconditioned thinking is that you may have found yourself in a position where over a period of years you've been conditioned in the way you think, but you don't realize it.